that moves. eNCA.com.
If you love all things books, then you may want to head over to the annual Jozi Book Fair, which kicked off yesterday. It's not just for book fanatics. Everyone is welcome to network and engage in all activities from book launches to readings. To tell us some more, we have the organizer with us, Elijah Kodisang. Elijah, tell us just a little bit about this year's book fair, or maybe just give us a bit of history.
Yeah, well, the book fair started 5 years ago, and it's a project of Kenya College, an NGO, and we are interested in promoting a culture of reading and writing in the country, and also promoting self-publishing, indigenous language publishing. And for this year, our focus is on libraries, the role of libraries in bringing knowledge and literature. And libraries are very important sites of knowledge. And the book fair started a few days ago, but the public events yesterday and today. And so far it's been going well. We've had over 1,000 people visiting yesterday with over 400 school children. And this morning, today, an exciting program. We've got the National Children's Theatre coming through today to do a play for children. We've got puppeteers coming in. We've got illustrations for children. So anything to get people interested in reading. And some of the highlights for the day are that we're having a reading of Ronnie Castle's book, Armed and Dangerous, but he will be doing it with the newborn frees, people that will be voting for the first time, and they will be asking him, as a former minister of the current government, to explain, why things went wrong. And also we have Bishops Yoka, Dalimpofu and Ronnie Castles talking about Marikana and book launches, and so there's everything for everyone.
It certainly sounds like a feast for the book lover. Yes. You mentioned libraries, and obviously with education being such a concern in South Africa, do you feel that books and reading are high enough in the order of priority?
Unfortunately, I don't think so, which is why one of our partners for this year is the Gothenburg Book Fair. So we have a delegation from Sweden visiting us to basically tell us how they do it. Unfortunately, books are not high enough of a priority. We had a conference with librarians from all over in partnership with the National Library. And what has come out is how libraries actually struggle to survive. And they've had to come up with pretty innovative ideas in terms of getting people to read, including perhaps starting food gardening because they've discovered that children are not able to concentrate enough because they have no food. So we have a really, really big challenge in the country with over 9 million young people unable to read after 12 years of schooling. So no, books are not enough of a priority.
Is it an insurmountable problem, though, that we're facing in our country?
I don't think it's insurmountable. If we look at history, once again, if I were to refer to countries like Sweden, who were much worse than we were 100 years ago, they've had to start a culture of reading and engagement and value knowledge, and they've had to start it without the kinds of resources that we have at our disposal. So I think that there's a lot more that we can do, and if everyone basically pitches in and we support initiatives that encourage people to read, I think we'll get very far.
And we certainly, are we any closer to there being the death of the paperback? Are you concerned that the physical book is an endangered species?
I don't think so. I don't think the physical book is an endangered species. And I think we've pretty much far from having iPads for children at school, most certainly. I think there's still a few decades of the book. The problem in the country, obviously, is the price of paper, which makes books very expensive. And parents have to choose between feeding their children and reading. And I think that shouldn't happen in a country like ours.
Just to give us an idea, have we seen an increase in new authors on the block? Anyone to look out for in your mind?
I think there are quite a few exciting authors. Mugabe Rachikoni, for example, who's publishing under Mampur Publishers with Professor Anton Haber, who's published a very interesting work called A Child of Two South Africas, about a real life story of a child who grew up in a suburb in a white family and suddenly thrust back into the town. Township. And so there's a number of very exciting authors that people have to see. And I think we have over 100 events, so I can't even begin to mention how many, but I think people must come over and bring their children over too.
Just give us an idea how well attended this year's book fair is. Is it getting a wide support from people?
We are certainly since we started 5 years ago, and I think just as I mentioned, we've had over 1,000 visitors last on Friday, and this was mostly school children with grown-ups basically coming in from about 1 o'clock. So we're expecting a lot more visitors this year. Last year we only had about 3,000 visitors coming. We're expecting more. So clearly we're not yet at the level of Gothenburg with 96,000 people visiting and over 100 exhibitors. But I think we have to start somewhere.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Elijah. That's Elijah Kodisang, organiser for the Jozi Book Fair. If you want to know more, head on down to Newtown, where the Jozi Book Fair 2013 is underway.
News that moves. eNCA.com.